Can you hear me now? Yay, thank you guys. Okay, well then to reset what I said, thank you for your patience. I brought up the wrong Zoom. It was my fault. So thank you for hanging on, guys. And I just want to catch you up where we are because it's a brand new section in KW Command that I think you'll really like. All right, so I'm clicking on your name on the top right. So I'm in Command, so agent.kw.com. Click your name on the top right. Okay. And then settings from that dropdown. Okay, so I might recommend jotting this down, your name and then settings from the dropdown. There's two brand new sections that I want to bring your awareness to. Okay, under general settings on the left-hand side, we now have notification preferences. This is live as of about 2 weeks ago. All right, where you can toggle your notification preferences. Okay, for anyone that since you weren't on the Zoom, what we talked about right now is the consumer section. So if nothing else, if you can go to notification preferences and then consumer, you'll be able to see the different notification types that you'll be notified of, right? You'll be notified if they log in, if they save a property, right? Or if they're interested in property, if they want a tour request, right? You'll see all the different ways that you're notified. And again, the way you're notified is in the bell icon on the top right of Command and the KW Command mobile app, which is the red app with the white KW. Make sure you have that on your phone as well. Now, the second section I just want you to be aware of, and I talked about briefly, is in this command settings, the lead management. Again, this just went live as of 2 weeks ago for solo agents. You were able to do this for teams before, but solo agents, so this is under command settings, and I'm just going to talk about it. I don't want you to set it up right now because we'll come back to it. What it's essentially allowing you to do is for any lead source, like an open house landing page that comes in, if they are to fill out their information on an open house landing page, for example, it'll automatically send them an email with the, thank you for coming to our open house. Here's the feedback form, or give us your feedback on the open house. Okay, that is something we'd have to set up, that email first, right? It's in a smart plan, so that's why we're coming back to it. I want you to know that feature exists right now. Okay. And the last thing that we're doing in settings is I just want you to eye over your contact information that's going on your app and your website and everywhere. So under connect settings on the left-hand side, if you can just click on your marketing profile and just eye over this to make sure it's all correct. All right, what this section does is I'll give you the steps again, but this section will autofill all of your contact information on any email you send out, any landing page, your mobile app, your website. Super important. Scroll through, make sure your headshot's there, make sure you have an updated bio in there. That's not just the default that Scott Leroy Marketing adds in. And if there's ever any time that you need to update your headshot, your bio, your phone number, I would highly recommend just sending it to Scott Leroy Marketing. So that's support@scottleroymarketing.com. Right? That's who set you up initially, right? Just reply to them with any headshot change or bio, because there's about 4 different spots that they go and change it. They do it for free within less than an hour. Let them do it. Don't pull out your hair doing something like that. Marketing.com. And I'll drop their email in the chat in just a second. I'm just writing on the board. All right, so eye over it and you can click save on the bottom. As you're clicking save on the bottom, note that there's a spot for your social media as well. And that's where it pulls from on your website. So if you do want your social media to display on the menu of your website, this is where you put it in. And as you'll see on my screen, right, that's the entire URL. So that's including facebook.com and then the end of it. If that sounds like a foreign language, what I just said to you, no worries, book an appointment with us. We'll help you put all of your profiles in there. So if you do need help with any of this, kwbresources.com and click I need tech help on the top right. Jot down what you want help with and we'll help you in that appointment, or Scott Leroy Marketing can also help. All right, guys, so click save on the bottom and we're done with all the boring settings stuff, albeit important. And we're going to go on down to your consumer tools, which will be on the very left-hand side menu, right? That's that very bottom app. You'll notice if you hover your mouse over it, it does say it's the consumer tools. Right, and what they mean by that, that's for your clients, right? These are tools all for your clients in this section here. So the first thing I want you to do is notice what your website address is, okay? So that should be right here. Scott Leroy Marketing does the initial setup of your site for you. So you don't need to actually set anything up. I'm going to show you how you can optimize it and what you can do to make it a little better though. So if you can click on your URL here at the top, it'll open that website for you so you can see what your site looks like. Now, first of all, let's go ahead and take note what your website address is. And also please take note that your website address is like something like your first and last name .kw.com. A lot of agents will put the @ symbol in their website address, and @ symbols are for your. So just be careful about that. One more thing, if you're printing that places, it does not allow for www dot before the website address. So if you print it somewhere, it needs to be just that part, like your first and last name .kw.com. Okay. Now, I'm going to talk about just what your website email address is there, right? Because email address, see, look what I did. Your website address up there is you can purchase, this is a little next level. Okay. So again, if it's a foreign language, we can meet together. You can purchase a domain name, and I would highly recommend it. What is a domain name, right? A domain name, for example, when I launched my company, we bought a domain name from GoDaddy named JuLeahDesigns.com. And then we forwarded it to our website, right? My mom, she has GatesMaxwellProperties.com, right? So what's powerful about a domain name outside of SEO and branding is, first of all, if I drive by a sign and see that website address, that's Leah, my last name, .kw.com, right? That's a couple dots I got to remember, versus you could make that a little simpler and it could just be like your first and last name.com or, bassproperties.com. Okay, just some things to note with that. So GoDaddy is where I would recommend it. Is this required? Not at all. Okay, so if this is making you feel a little overwhelmed, this is not something that you have to do, but no, it's a pretty nominal. So it's like something like $12 for the first year. And so it's a pretty nominal investment with the branding. And two, if you ever change website, you ever got a different brokerage, not that you would ever make that crazy of a decision, but your domain name would come with you, right? So all that marketing material that you put out, all your business cards that had your domain name, well, guess what? You can just change where that points and they have no idea, right? So if you're confused on how to do that, book an appointment with us. But honestly, it's as simple as what I would recommend starting with is seeing what domain names are out there. So you don't have to do this on your screen, but just to show you, like GoDaddy.com. GoDaddy.com is where I would recommend getting it from. They're the most trusted and user-friendly sites. And there's a chance you can get the first one for like 1 cent for the first year. So you can check that out. Sometimes those are like .org ones. But you can just test to see if that's available, right? So your first step is kind of figuring out, is my domain name available? Now, I do want to note that it might be a good idea to pass it by Sabra before purchasing it, okay? Because, like, for example, you can't use realty in your team name or domain name in North Carolina, or real estate. Realty, real estate, or realtor are the 3 known, which is like all the things you want to put in there, right? So some other ideas, you can just do like your first and last name.com, or like your last name homes.com, your last name properties.com kind of feel. I see those used a lot. Like your last name properties, or your last name homes, like Bass Homes or Bass Properties, something like that. Those are commonly used as well, like to get around it, because it still gets to feel that you work with homes, of course. So any questions about domain names, of course, feel free to like book an appointment. So once you purchase it, so let's say, oh, you found a really great one. Awesome. I bought it. I put my credit card in and I flung it into the internet and I now have this domain name. Now what? Scott Leroy Marketing will forward it to your website for free. Wonderful. So after you buy it, just email support@scottleroymarketing.com. Hey, I got a domain name. They'll ask for your GoDaddy login and your command login, and then they'll do it all for you. So within 24 hours, it magically goes over to your website. So pretty cool. Of course, book an appointment with us. Yeah, we can help. Yeah.
Hey, so I have a question. So I see a lot of like realty or realtor. So is that just something for Keller Williams, or that we can't use, or is that just something normal?
Good question. Because I've asked Sabra this, because there is some high-level agents in our office that still use it. Wait, what is it? Because it is allowed, and It's allowed in, hold on, let me ask Tasha. It's not allowed in South Carolina. It's either North or South. Will you guys hold on for a second? Hey, Tasha. Realty, realtor, and real estate not allowed in North or South Carolina in their team name. Oh, right. I want to say it's South. So then say percent of agents do things in North Carolina a lot. Sometimes they'll still have it. Okay, great. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Tasha. You guys got the inside scoop. I haven't walked it back well. Okay, guys. So it's illegal in South Carolina, not illegal, it's probably not allowed in South Carolina. So you will see some agents, and I've asked Sabre this because you'll still see it in team names because it does clarify what you do. So if you primarily work in North Carolina, you can market yourself like that in North Carolina. Yeah, so you're good. Sorry to cause alarm for anyone. So, but South Carolina, and of course, these are compliance things. So please talk to Tasha or Sabra. But in South Carolina, generally, like if you have a sign, well, then you can just print the sign, use a sign that doesn't have that team name on it or that specific domain, I want to say. From what I have heard from Sabra, you can give yourself like a team name without like a DBA name without having an LLC. So like I could brand myself as, yeah, if you want to give yourself a team name, you don't technically have to have an LLC. Again, please talk to Sabra or Tasha before doing anything. But yeah, that's what she told me because I've asked her that question. So it's because it's considered a DBA name. Thank you for asking that question. If anyone else has questions on that, please let me know because I know that's kind of confusing. I'm so confused and I asked Sabra about it. So I get it. But yeah, if you do most of your business in North Carolina, then that might be your good decision to put real estate because it does establish what you do, right? So feel free if you want to book with us, like we can talk it through more, we can buy it together. We're here to do it with you. Now on your website here. So first of all, I want to tell you that the website template is not overly customizable, but they are launching a brand new template within the next, I would guess by the end of the year. I mean, they're saying it's coming now. They didn't say when, so they usually roll it out in labs, meaning some people get it. So I would say definitely by the end of the year, everyone have it. What you need to know now is the main thing you can update are these photos on the top. They will scroll up to 5. I'll talk about that. You can add more featured listings. I'll talk about that. You'll see your contact information on the bottom right. And on the very top right, you'll see a menu, okay? That menu, you can have Scott Lorre Marketing set up 8 custom pages for free, okay? So if you want these, like I have some where I'm just practicing usually on my site, like adding things. But like, for example, if you want a local school search on your website, if you want a mortgage calculator, leave a review, right? A real estate blog that automatically blogs for you. This is what you do. Open an email to Scott Lorre Marketing, support@scottlorremarketing.com, and say, I would like the custom pages to be added to my KW command site. And then they might reply saying these custom pages and give you 8 of them. And then you can just say, yes, all of them, or to show you what they are correctly. If you guys ever want to see a full list of what Scott Lorre Marketing offers, I'm pulling up a new tab, so you don't need to join me. If you want to write down scottlorremarketing.com/support, that's a list of all the free things that they offer. I just love it because it's all free for you, right? And if you need a password, that's $350, okay? So I'll put this in the chat. If you need a password, that's $350. And if you scroll down, it'll tell you all the free things they do. Do you need a QR code set up for your website? Oh, you just send them the link and they'll send it back in about 5 minutes. Do you need your social media updated? Do you need all the custom pages? So if I scroll down, these are all the different custom pages that they can add. So that's usually what they'll prompt you for. Like they'll ask if you want that. So again, it's free. You send an email, they add that. That's what I would recommend doing, okay? Any questions on that so far? Great. All right, so outside of that, right, on this menu, you will see your social media, and that pulls from that command marketing profile, right? So you can add your social media there to have that populate on the menu. Now, last thing I'm going to show you guys on here, well, a couple other things how to search, and also their feed. So if you click on the feed option on the very top, All right, this is what, if someone registers on your site, where they would have all their information. So they would see if they were to click on feed, right? And I'll talk about if they log in or sign up and what would make them do that, right? We'll talk about that, right? But this is where they can see any collections that you've created or saved searches that they've created, any neighborhoods. So it kind of prompts them with the tools on your neighborhood if they're not signed in. And if they are, that's when where they would see all their saved searches and all the properties that are new to them. All right, so as far as the search goes on the site, and then I'll hop over to the back end so we can edit it. Right. So this search is actually super cool because it searches the entire nation of listings. This is true for the KW mobile search app, right? I've now referenced 2 apps. The KW command app is what helps you as the agent, and that's the red app with the white KW. Tell me if I'm lying. And then there's a KW mobile search app that's for your clients to search homes, the white app with the red KW. Both of those search the entire nation of listings, no matter what brokerage it is, which I love, meaning you can share your app, your site to someone out of state, let them look for houses, and they can tell you when they found one, so you can look up a referral agent and connect them and get that referral, right? I know, I love that. So for example here, why the search feature is actually really cool on here because it goes above and beyond just like a regular search because it can search school district too. Now, if I search Weddington, for example, it'll show me in different categories. Okay, do you want to search by address, cities, neighborhood, or school district, right? So I could search all the homes in the Weddington school district right from here. Now, to take this a bit even further and make it even cooler, but this is a kind of a step up. So if this again overwhelms you, I'm here for you. But if you were to take this URL up there and if I click on it, it highlights it, right? And if I were to copy that, right? So I just copied it. And I go on over to my Facebook and I click new post and I paste that link. And I said, check out all the homes for sale in the Weddington school district. People are interested in that, right? And it drives traffic to your website, right? You can create a Facebook ad with that same kind of material, right? So just know if you're not sure what to post on your social media, yeah, Instagram I know needs a picture. Facebook, search anything on your website. Search, because I do love the search. Okay, let's say I search Charlotte or Valentine, whatever. Let's say Waxhaw. If I were to search Waxhaw, I just want to show you guys a couple more options of things you can do with these kind of searches. So once you search the general area on the right-hand side, if I were to, if I click on more, for example, I can come down and, for example, pool. I could pull up all the homes in Waxhaw that have a pool. Are people interested in that? Yep. So you copy that and paste it to your Facebook, right? If you're going to do this once a week on Fridays, that could really have power to branding you and be pushing traffic to your site, right? So if I were to do one for all the pools, and then what if I did one for check out all the homes in Waxhaw with an open house this weekend? If you want a private showing, I'm here for you. Here's a list of homes that have had a price reduction in the last 7 weeks, which by the way is the #2 performing Facebook ad. Okay, so knowing how to search on your website to then copy and paste it to Facebook or share that is really powerful. It's a really powerful tool because you're really targeting a certain niche, like people who want pools, right? And do you guys have questions on that? Do you feel comfortable in the how? Yeah? No, okay, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Sure, yeah. Okay, so I'm on my agent website, okay? So do you know how to do you know what your website address is? Okay, well, it's are you in Command? Okay, if you click on the consumer tab on the far left bottom, like the bottom icon, your website address, you can actually just click on from there. Yep, and I'll pull it up. Nice, okay. And so from here, and I'll actually pull up Facebook and show you the whole process here, guys. So let's say I'm going to post, because one of the top performing posts is, let's say, doing price reductions in the area you want to specialize in. All right, let's say that's Valentine. Well, it doesn't really have that. I'm going to do Weddington. All right, so let's say I'll do Weddington, whatever search you want to do, right? You could even do just for a neighborhood if you farm a certain neighborhood. But let's say I picked Weddington. So I did a search now. Okay, but I want to actually do all the homes that have price reduction in the last 7 days, right? So in Waxhaw. So now what I'm going to do is click the More button on the right-hand side. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of this little pop-up to click this, the price reduced over the last 7 days. So that's going to update my search to only show me the homes that have had a price reduction in Waxhaw, right? So now what I can do, please stop me if you have questions. Now what I can do is if I click on this top URL, and again, this isn't kind of a next level tip, but it can really be impactful to figuring out what to post on social media. If I right click and click copy, I can then go into Facebook. Let's see whose Facebook's up. Do I know it? Let me see if I know my password. So I can just show you guys this. Can you scroll down a little more? Like sometimes it's hidden on the right-hand side. I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, I can't get in there. But what you would do is go into Facebook, right? And you just pull up a new post, and then you would right click on it to paste it. And I can show you that in person as well. But essentially, right, you pull up a new post. Since I right clicked and copied this, I can right click to paste it, right? I would pull up Facebook and I would open up a new post and I just paste it. And then you can write whatever verbiage, like check out these homes that had a price reduction in Waxhaw in the last 7 days. You can try to get into Facebook if that would be really helpful for you guys to see it. Is that a little clearer? Okay, and if it's not, like, please come in and like, because that is just a super cool way that you don't have to be creating things on social media, right? And it's drawing attention to that you're a real estate agent. It's providing value for people online. People love looking at homes. All right, so now let's take a look at the back end of your site. Okay, so I'm switching back over, probably in a new tab. It's a tab that has like agent sites command. And if you lost this tab totally, no worries. We're just in agent.kw.com and you can click on that consumer tab. All right, so let's take a look at the settings of your site. And let's do that by clicking actually site and app settings on the very top right. So that was site and app settings on the very top right. Okay, so agent site hero text. All right, so you have 50 characters here. That is what's showing right on the front of your page. Right, this right here. So some ideas of what you could write. Is there already something in there? Was it to say something currently in your hero text? Okay, great, thank you. So if you want to keep that, you absolutely can. I was brainstorming some different ideas, like taking your real estate goals to the next level, professional and personal real estate services. For this, I would recommend, what's your North Star here? Okay, let's first think about your branding in general marketing. It's important for you to identify what's your North Star for your business. Some agents, that's investing and saving people money or growing their future wealth. For some people, it's creating a home out of a house, right? For some people, it's helping people through their transitions. Finding it is like, I know they talk a lot about your big why, but that's more like for you personally. Like, what is it that strikes you, your passion in real estate, right? Is that making a house a home? Because that's lovely, right? And we can really focus on that in your marketing through things like that. Now, if you want to go ahead and say something like search your dream home, like while you think of things like that, that's totally fine. But that might be something to consider because it would personalize your site and bring more personality to your business as well. All right, and now these hero images. So as I mentioned, the site is not overly customizable right now, but you can update the images, and there's up to 5 you can update. And what you can do is just email those 5 images to Scott Leroy Marketing. Let's talk about how to get images so that you can use, because you cannot just Google images and find them and use them on your site. If you were in my last class, I was talking about how one of our agents did that and it was owned by National Geographic. She got charged $800 and asked to take it down, right? So we want to make sure we're getting it from a good source. And I have two for you actually. Let me make sure I know what it is. Pixabay, I think, .com. I'll tell you, hang on. So pixabay.com, you'll see on the top left of the site. Pixa, Pixabay.com are all free images that you can use on your site anywhere with your marketing. Like let's say you're doing a Facebook ad and you would like to have a pretty picture of a house, right? So I could come in here and you can search whatever you want, luxury home or just like kitchen or whatever it is, right? Yes. On the We brand. So you're talking about We brand, how it has like certain design, like, yeah. Yeah, no, you would have to bring it in. Like that's their, like, I guess they have like royalty images that you can pay for in there, but yeah, you cannot connect it with Command. Canva does have some as well, but usually in their paid version. So what you can do here is, right, any one of them when you want, let's say it's this one, you can just open it and click free download. I know, super cool. And then as far as what size, I think that size should be fine because Scott will, once you find the 5 photos, or however many you want, download them to your computer, attach them to an email and send them to Scott Leroy Marketing. The reason is they have to resize them for it to actually fit. Don't mess with it, let them do it, okay? So, yeah, no, please. You're good.
So for us to create our landing page or what our clients see from our app or our page, we have to go and do this in the back office.
No, your website's already set up for you. That's what we were just looking at, your website. Perfect. And so this part here, though, you can add additional images like scrolling. So if you want, that's all you can really change on the main page right now. So if you want those 5 images to be different, you can get images here and then just email them to support@scottleroymarketing.com. Yeah, well, this is, I mean, on your website. Yeah, because we're going to do landing pages next, just so it's different. But yeah, no, you're good. And so, yeah, on your website right now, it says 5 scrolling images. And that's how you can personalize it right now. They are giving out more templates again within this year. But right now, this is the biggest impact you can make is changing out these images. And again, this is kind of that next step thing. You don't, just to clarify, you don't have to do a single thing on your website. It's already done. It's already set up for you. You can just email it out. It's done, right? It works. You can search things. These are just some tips on how you can take it to that next level if you want it to look different than, let's say, other KW agents, right? Like if they were interviewing multiple KW agents, I maybe wouldn't want the exact same pictures as the default so that it did have a little bit of a dynamic feel. Yeah, of course.
Hey,
Yeah.
is this Leah?
Yeah, it's Leah.
Oh, okay. Hey, I didn't see you when you all did. So can you use like personal photos? Can you send them like your headshots and stuff to use too? Or does it have to be just like these type of marketing photos?
No, that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. You can absolutely use any marketing photos that you have. If you have headshots or you have professional photos, or if you had a listing that you had photos taken, you can use those as well. Just noting the landscape, format of the photo, right? So it wouldn't work for a portrait, like an up and down photo. It would have to be a landscape for it to fit here. But otherwise, Scott Leroy Marketing can generally resize it and add that in for you. I would recommend it. Yeah. So if you, right, yeah. So if you have a goal of just finding 5 images, and this isn't, super pressing, it's already done. But, if you can have that goal over the next couple of weeks, find 5 images that really hit for you, then just attach them to an email. And of course, if you get those 5 images, you can meet with us too. And like, we can help you do all of this. Don't feel like you're ever alone in this. If like you get home, you're like, wow, I almost remember what she said, but now I have no idea. We're here. Like you can book with us once a week, right? It's free for you to do that. We'll guide you through it all and do it with you, right? So that's what we do with our clients is, yeah, let's make this smart plan together. Let's make this landing page together. So just know that that's an option. For these classes, it's really important that you get an understanding that these tools are here to dive into so that we can really build on them. I know it's a short class and I don't want you to feel like you have to soak in every single thing that I say because we are here continuously for you guys. The last couple big things to note on here is property limits. So what it's saying is the registration. Do you want people to be forced to register on your site? Okay, I believe off default, it's unrestricted. Does all of yours say unrestricted or? Unrestricted, thanks. That's a default, okay. Now let's talk about this a little bit because, I have some mixed feelings on the different options, right? So your options are unrestricted, meaning they never have to register. If they save a property on your site, then they would be prompted to. In case I lost anyone, I'm just under the images. So, right, we're on the consumer tab and then site and app settings on the right-hand side. So I just scrolled down slightly, like where we're talking about your site hero text and then the images. And then we have that registration right under it. And so your options are right that you're not demanding that they do unrestricted. They don't have to, but they will be prompted if they favorite something or create a safe search. Then there's the other options, 2 properties or 10, meaning on that third, after looking at 2 properties, on that third property, they'd be forced to register. So if I was going to pick one, maybe it'd be that one. My feelings though, if a site ever demands that I register, I'm gone, right? I'm gone. You lost me, right? So that's where, because why wouldn't I just use Zillow at that point? Why wouldn't I use realtor.com? So in my opinion, your site is used less. Like, yes, I understand it's a lead capture website, but it's also to act as a tool for your clients, brand you, prove your credibility, which I think has a lot more power here than demanding after that second, property that they have to register. Yeah. Yeah. No, so they'd have to register on your site and then you'll get notified every time they log in and every time they like a property. But for the system, there is Google Analytics that you could put on the back end of your site, and actually Scott Lorry Marketing can set up Google Analytics too. Yeah. And so if you just ask them to, then they just need your logins, and then that will track how many views and hits, how long people are staying on your site, their bounce rate, etc. Yeah, of course. All right, guys. So that's really the whole back end here. All right. Last thing, just on your app landing page, there's also just, you can edit that text if you need to. I'll show you what that looks like in just a moment here, so you can make that decision. All right, the rest of this, you don't need to worry about. Our MLS pulls virtual tours right over. So this is, you can ignore this. Virtual tours come from the MLS for us. Okay, I'm scrolling up to the top real quick though. All right, come back to this white toolbar. I just want to show you, these are all of your backend settings for your app and your website. So if I click on, so I scrolled up slightly right to this white toolbar here. And I'm clicking on URLs just so you can see what your website URL is and your app URL, okay? So that app URL, and we'll talk more about that, right? But this is what, when you send this app URL to people, that they're able to download your branded app. And I will show you the how of that. No. You could buy a domain name and forward it to it though. Oh, nice. Hey, Mom. Okay, yes. This is not a link that they would need to remember. This is a link you send them one time in a text. And I'll show you actually how you do it from the app. Practicality wise, you can set up like emails for that to send to them, or you can also have them like you can send it via the text or via your phone. I'll show you that. But what's cool is if you just have a domain name to your website and they go to your website on their phone, it then prompts them to download the app because it's more user friendly for their phone. So it kind of does direct them there through that. Yeah. So if you do need to put it on a spot where people need to remember it, I would honestly recommend a QR code. Would probably be even better though. And remember, QR codes are something Scott Lorry Marketing can do within like 10 minutes usually to the app landing page. So that's what I'll show you next. All right, before we see the app though, I'm just going to show you lastly the featured listings right here. Okay, so if you do want to add featured listings to your website, all right, I'm going to just show you where this is on your website and then I'll pop back. So featured listings, obviously really key to have on here to, right, it gives them an option, something to click on. Now, as far as what listings can be on there is they have to be KWB listings, right? Or your own, right? And as you can see, once they sell, they disappear, right? I have these added, but they're not on the live site because they went under contract and sold. So with that being said, right, it is a manual upkeep process. With that being said, this is where Scott Lower Marketing can come in as well. Okay, so now this is an idea for strategy for you guys if you want to use this, right? A lot of our agents who are trying to do open houses for agents, right? That's a great way to pick up leads. In the MLS, you can see all the listings our office has, right? I don't know the how of that. If you need steps, email me, I'll get with an agent to find that. So you can see all the listings that our office has. So if you were going to see, okay, I want to, maybe I'll contact this agent right here to do an open house, and I'm going to feature that on my website, right? That will allow you to, because too, you don't need to come back in here and do this though. If you just find what listing you want, let's say the MLS number, put it in the email. Let's say you want, you can show 5 at a time. Oh, 12. Nice, 12. So up to 12. So you can put in the MLS number of 12 into an email, send it to Scott Lower Marketing, and he'll put them up there. Right. But your process, right, since they disappear when they sell, which I mean, it's good for like compliance and things. But as far as your manual upkeep, that should more be, okay, I need to find a couple listings this month that I want to do an open house for and feature on my website. And then too, I mean, you can feature that on a Facebook ad. You could put that on a post. All right. There is a co-listing agreement that the office has. Okay. So if you guys decide to do that, do you guys want to see where the co-listing, or not co-listing, sorry, co-branding? Like if you were going to promote another agent's listing, that's on KWB resources. There's just a quick form you'd have to sign, just basically saying that you'll keep up with the status of it. Now that's not if it's just on the featured listing though. Okay, but if you start promoting another agent's listing, that's the time you would have to. Yeah, you're good. Mhm. Right. And it gives them like something to click on, right? Like maybe I don't know what I want to search, right? So and picking our most eye-catching listings, of course, listings with pools or something pretty on the, that'll get more clicks. So if you analyze that when you're looking at our listings, yeah, you'll get higher click rates. Exactly. Yeah. So put in your mind that I don't really want you to think of going in to do this every month or however often. I want you to email Scott Lower Marketing these featured listings, okay? Because they are important, but you don't need to be wasting your time doing that. Okay, now let's talk about the mobile app, okay? So let me actually pull up this mobile app link. So if you want to pop on over to URLs, and I'll show you how you can share this from the app on your phone and everything. But let's just start by clicking on URLs. And so you can see what this mobile app landing page looks like. Click copy next to that crazy URL and paste it in. Oh, sorry, that was fast. And then pull up a new tab, and then you can right click to paste in that URL. And if you need help, I'll come around and help you do that. Okay, but again, what I just did is I click copy, pull up a new tab on your browser, usually that plus sign, so that you can right click to paste it. Okay, and this is what it will show you is your branded app. I'm not an agent, so I don't have a branded app. All right, but you should see your headshot on here and your name. Cool. Okay, so now let's talk about where this even comes into play, how they would get there. So if you can open your phone and pull up the white KW app. If you don't already have it on your phone, so this is a consumer tool right here, right? So there's a red KW app that's for you as the agent. That's like command on the go. This, however, is for your clients so they can be driving around like I do it when I go to like Charleston. I'm like, what a pretty house. I want to see how much it costs. What do the pictures look like? It sees where I am. I can click on it and look at it from there. Okay, so now is it anyone's first time opening up the app in today's class? Okay, great, because it will prompt you to either sign in or sign up when you open this app, okay? This is an app for your client, so you don't have a sign in, so you would click sign up, okay, and create an account on your app. It's good because you can see how the lead comes over to command and all. And then once you do, that app will be on your phone, right? Has everyone gotten past that sign up page? Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. And then Because then we want to make sure it's connected to you as an agent. I'll be coming around to help everyone. So if you do have the app open, you can click on the More tab, and we want to make sure you see yourself on the top. Awesome, you're killing it. Yeah, perfect. Anyone need me? Yeah, you have to sign up. It makes you, and then you're just making up an account at this point, so you can use like a personal email address that you have or whatever.
So what was the application we going?
Yeah, so we're gonna search for KW here, and we'll get both of them for you.
I don't know if I get my password yet.
Oh, okay, yeah, it looks like this is the one we're working on now. So it looks like you had it, which is great.
Didn't delete it
Yeah, and so it should download back and
because I cannot access command.
low data mode. Okay, yeah,
Oh
just
my
click download.
God.
Yeah, book an appointment with us. So we'll
Okay.
do this together one-on-one too. Yeah. I'll show you how to book it. Awesome. So now it'll take a minute, but that will load around. How's everyone doing? Good. Okay, great. So on the More tab, got it. Perfect. Right, More tab, we want to make sure that you are on there, right, as an agent. If it says find an agent on the top of the More tab, the More is on the bottom. And then if it says find an agent on the top, we're just going to do that one time. Your clients will never have to do this. Okay, but search yourself as the agent. So no, you're already good. So you're good. You're set up correctly. Gotcha. Fun stuff. Yeah. Hey, yeah, you're good. T, you doing okay? Okay, great. I'll swing that back. All right. So if you do have your name on the More tab, right, how you want to be sharing it. On the More tab, scroll to the very bottom. Oh, let's find the agent. Search your name. So where it says share the KW app on the bottom of More, that's what we want to click on. And I'll come help in case you miss this. And then you can share it via text, via email, right? And again, so this is on the very bottom of the More tab. For those of you online, I'll come show my screen too. All right, if you're online, I don't even know if you can see this, but on the bottom of the app on the More tab, we need to make sure that it has your name on the top. Like mine does not, but it should not say find your agent. If it does, click on find an agent and search your name, okay? If it does say your name on the top, you can scroll to the bottom of the More tab. So click on More on the bottom, scroll to the bottom and click share the KW app.
Hey, Leah, I have a question.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? You know how we have our regular website page where we can, add the photos and stuff. And then we have this page. So is this the one just for when they're on the app? So we have two pages that we can share, or is it
Good question.
Yeah.
So what's cool, and you're talking about like this website and the app, right? Like which one you be sharing? Great question. The answer is they sync together, which is cool. So kind of a long answer here, but they sync. So if they search anything on, your website here, it would also reflect on the app if they save anything. So it does all sync together. So, I mean, in theory, if you share this website URL, so if you were to share your command website, what you see on my screen here, then and if you try it on your phone, if you go to this on your phone, you'll see it like prompts you to switch over to the app. So, and I honestly go back and forth on this a lot, to be honest, like which one should I share? But that does give them the option if they're on their computer, then they can open it from there. I do like the option of giving them like the command website so that if they don't want to download the app, they're still able to search. But, so again, what I said is I like the option if I share my website, so the command website, right, my first and last name .kw.com, and they pull it up on their phone, it gives them the option to download the app or to keep using the desktop version. Sometimes I don't want another app, right? So sometimes I go with that route versus if you share the app link, it would force them to download the app, which is good, but could be bad. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So, okay. Because I was like, is this something different? So it's basically the same thing, but one is for if they were to go, on a website and they don't have to download. And the other one is just when they want to put it on the app.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. The straight answer is like this one you're looking at on my screen is for a website versus the app is supposed to be, obviously for mobile devices. But with the amount of people who are opening emails on their mobile devices, sharing this website address would kind of give them the best of both worlds, the best of both options then, in my opinion.
Okay,
Does that make
thanks.
sense? Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, no, you're fine. Okay, great.
Gonna
Okay, well,
skip-
Skip is just telling you like
Oh,
how.
I see.
So now, I'll allow while using the app. So now let's click find an agent and we're gonna search for your name and you only have to do that one time. Now, when you're sharing the app, right? And we want to do it from your phone because then it shares that branded app, right? So if I click share and then click like via text or whatever option, it does give you like a little blurb. It has your branded URL and it has something like a little verbiage in there that you can edit when you're sending it. You just can't edit like the original template quite yet. But before you send it, you can of course make any edits and then share it that way. Usually I like to, a lot of agents will talk about the mobile app in their buyer consultation, right? Because it updates faster than Zillow, okay? Since it connects directly to the MLS, it will automatically show you, and I just create a sign up, like use a personal email. What was I saying? Anyone know what I was saying? Me neither. Okay.
Yes, that the mobile app updates faster than Zillow.
Oh, I
That's-
love you. Thank you. I answered another question thinking my brain would keep going, but yes. So, right, it'll give them that option. Sorry, I did lose my train of thought. All right, guys. So we're just gonna keep going. Thank you. Gosh, my script. There we go. Okay, so that script is usually I tell them that because the question is why wouldn't I use Zillow, right? Now we know that we know why we want them to use the app. We need to show them the value. It updates quicker than Zillow, pulls directly from the MLS, right? So that's a common issue that you'll get outdated listings sent to you from Zillow, right? These pull in, I mean, it's usually within an hour. So you're getting access to the most up-to-date listings all over the entire country, right? So, showing them that power, and then you can tell them too, if you were to save any properties, then I would be notified of that as well. So if they do save properties, it does ask them if they want to share that collection with you, just so you know. So they have the option to say no. But typically people just say yes, keep going. But, if you're talking to them and, talking about it so that, oh, if you favorite any of those, I'll be able to set up a showing kind of deal, right? Well, then, you can guide them to go ahead and do that. And then you get notified in KW Command when they do that. So let's hop over to Command and talk about, okay, how do these leads come in? And where do I see them? How do I interact with them? Okay, so I'm going back to Command. All right, so back to Command, that tab. Yeah, no, please.
Like it comes, like they open the app, they seal that, set up a drip for them, I don't know if it's under it.
Right. Mhm.
Or they open the app, they would receive. If they register, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, so no, it's a good question. So if you create a saved search, and that's in the contact record, I'll show you where it is. You can create saved searches for your clients who are on the app too, and then they'd be able to see any searches they created themselves and any searches you created for them as well. Now, if you just want them to start, if they are not signed up on your app or your website, you'll need to do that from the MLS though. Exactly, right. So yeah, if they have the app and they're viewing the properties there, great. A saved search, and I'll show you where that is. You can set up in Command. Otherwise, MLS, so it goes to their email for a safe search, right? Of course. All right. And let's take a look at how leads are going to be coming in, so you know how to deal with them, and then setting up auto emails. I'll be wrapping up here in the next 5 minutes, and then I'll be staying around to tell you more about the lead follow-up automation, but class technically ends 4 minutes ago. So if you want to stick around, great. If not, no worries. Thanks for coming. But to show you where your leads come in. Okay, so I'm going to click on that home icon. The home icon at the very top, this is where you come into Command, right? This is your dashboard. It'll show you any leads up here. So this is brand new within the next or last 2 weeks or so. Right. However, I want to make sure your recent leads are on the top right here. So if you are not seeing that, if you can click on customize on the right hand side. So again, I clicked on the home icon and then customize. So I can go ahead, usually leads by default from what I've seen are at the bottom. pull that baby up. All right, so you can't switch the column, but you can pull it up and down, just a heads up. So you really just click and hold on this little, the dots, and pull them up. I would recommend having your tasks at the top as well. But yeah, you can reorganize this. Maybe we want our profit share at the top as well. That's a new one. The profit share widget was just added for any of you that are new or have been using Command. That's a new one, and it's also on the Command app. So if you pull up the Command app, you'll notice there's now a profit share widget and other widgets that say if anyone requested to see a property on your site. It doesn't actually update the way the app is. I want to say they're releasing or they have a way to customize the app screen, but it's just separate. And I'll look at that to verify. Good question. Yeah, the KW Command app, that's the other one that you want to make sure that you have, because again, it'll notify you of leads. So you're notified of new leads coming in from the bell icon on the top right of Command, and also from your Command app, right? You get a push notification and an app notification. So make sure you have that Command app downloaded. How you get leads from your website is if anyone clicks to create a safe search or a property, or like saves a property on your website, like Heartsit. Okay, so let me show you now how to, because I would like to show you guys the landing page feature as well. So let me show you that next. And again, right, the class ended at 2, but we have a workshop till 2:30. So feel free to work on whatever you'd like to. But I will be showing you how to set up an open house landing page and how that's different from the website. So if you would like to join me back to the consumer tab on the left-hand side. I will. No, you're good. I just teach it so many times. It's a certain part. I say it every time, so it's coming. So consumer tab here. Then you'll notice at the top, right, we do have the agent site pages versus landing pages, okay? So I want you guys to notice that separation, because you'll always need to go back to landing pages to grab these, okay? I'll talk more about that. But anytime that you click on a menu item on the left-hand side, you'll see the action button is on the top right. So anytime that you go to a new page in Command, always check the top right. It'll be that green action button, blue, whatever it is, where we'll go ahead and create new page. All right. And this is where you have the option to create it on your site or on a landing page. Okay. So we're going to select landing page. And this is where let's talk about the difference between the two. Okay. So a landing page is going to be like a single page website that's specifically designed to capture leads. It's also referred to as like a funnel page or a squeeze page, right? And the idea is you are providing something of value in return to their contact information. I don't know about you, but I avoid giving my contact information out online like it's play, right? I do not want to. People don't want more emails, right? So telling them what you're so for example, this will have a contact form and register for a 10% off Lowe's coupon, right? So that's exchanging my contact information for a 10% off coupon or for an ebook. I've seen a lot of agents do that. We're going to do an open house today, okay? So what I'm going to show you today is that you can have them sign in for an open house on this landing page, and it makes their contact information go straight to Command. So then an email can automatically be triggered to say, thanks, come to the open house, give us your feedback. Here's how you can look at more houses on our site, okay? So that's what we're going to do. So again, I clicked on create new page on the top right, and we're selecting as a landing page, and then click create. Okay, sounds good. All right, so on the right-hand side, right? Okay, so what we're seeing here, right, is a blank page in the middle is our template, and on the right-hand side, we have our widgets, okay? So as far as editing it, I think you guys will really like it. What we do first is build it. So first, I would recommend the branded header on the right-hand side. So all we do to bring it over is click, hold your mouse, pull it over, and you'll see it puts that green bar. So I can release my mouse, and it will drop it, okay? Don't worry about it too much right now if something looks off up here. What we're doing right now is building the landing page, and then we go back and configure it. So first, again, branded header, I clicked, I dragged and dropped. Next, I would recommend a lead form, right? This is where they're going to fill out their contact information at your open house. So I'm holding my mouse, and you can see when I pull it over, right, that green bar shows me where I'm putting it above or below the other widget. Again, we're going to edit this. And the last thing I want to do is give them the option to view the listing details for my open house. So I'm going to grab this listing widget, click, hold my mouse, drag it over to drop that in. Okay, and again, it's a listing that's not yours, really pretty, but we'll edit that in a second. All right, you'll see that there are other things that you can add, but these are the 3 main widgets that you really need for an open house landing page. Okay, so again, that was branded header, lead form, put it on all of them, and then the listing is going to pull from the MLS all the photos and the description. It's awesome. So now, okay, you'll notice once I add that, right, I can't publish the page until I configure the widgets. All right, so that next step is going to be down here with the button, configure widgets. I do just want to show you guys like the content blocks. You can technically add like a one-off image or a text box on here. It's a little less user-friendly than the widgets, but you can do that. And then we'll click on configure widgets. All right, so it's going to show you on the far right panel here, your widgets that you have added to this landing page, the ones that are complete enough to publish the page and any that you do have to further complete. So I'm going to start at the top for the branded header. All right, so this branded header right here, this all pulls from your command marketing profile, right, where we started in class. But we can go ahead and update the header text. Now this is pretty short. It's only 25 or 30 characters, and that's because of a mobile device, so it doesn't overlap. But it could say like, welcome to the open house, or 123 Main Street open house, right? And you can edit this immediately. So let's say I put this in and click save and apply, and I'm not feeling it, I can just change it right away and click save. So feel free to play with what that is. So say I do welcome to my open house, and then just scroll through and make sure your contact information looks okay, and click save and apply on the bottom. So save and apply on the bottom. And you'll notice at the top, right, it shows me what widget I'm on and an arrow that I can go to the next widget. So now that I completed that one, because all we really had to do is add a header, let's click that arrow on the right-hand side to go to that next widget, okay? Now these contact boxes, you cannot edit what they're asking, but we could put any information, like if you want any additional information from them, you can say leave it as a note. But you know, for this, we could say sign in for the open house. And so once we do that, right, that's those widgets on the top right here. Right now we did this one, so we're going to click that next arrow again to get to our next widget. And this is where we're actually updating the listing. So I'll show you guys how that works. So what we do here is we click browse listings. And it's going to pull up listings from across the entire nation. So I could go ahead and search for the listing I'm doing an open house for this weekend. So you can search by property address, MLS number. I like that option because it comes right up as well. And then once you find that the property you're doing an open house for, you can click on select. And then it will automatically, it's pulling in all the photos here from the MLS. So it's having me select which image I want to be that main image. So once I click save and apply on the bottom, it'll populate all the images from the MLS. It will pull in all the property description information and so forth. So now let's talk about how we would distribute it to them, because right, I'll talk about how you actually implement this in your open house next, okay? So no, that's coming. So make sure we click save and apply now that we got that. And you can click on, I mean, if I click on this arrow right here, it'll show me that all of my widgets are complete. I'm just going to show you guys that. So now it shows me everything's complete, so I can now publish the page. Now, if you want to, before publishing the page, you can change the name, which I forget all the time. Only you see this, but then you could name this open house sign-in. And then click publish page. I do have a 10-minute video on this as well, guys. So when you're going through and doing this for your open house, just know I have a video that you guys can watch as well. So I'll click on publish page on the top right. Let me know. Walk around and help. Okay, now let me explain the how now that we'd implement it in your open house, and then I'll take any questions that you guys might have on this, further clarify. So first of all, now to go get that open house landing page. On the consumer tab, I just want to let you guys know every time you click on consumer, it takes you back to your agent site pages, which I then freak out because I'm like, where's the landing page I just made? But you just have to click on landing pages at the top. So to avoid the stress I go through every time, just remember landing pages will be at the top. And then you can see that open house sign-in sheet that you created, right? So that's right here. Now this URL is super crazy long, right? It lets you change like up to this much of it. Like if you click on the 3 dots on the far right, this is where you can edit that, or you can change the URL. It's just only a certain portion of it. Okay, what I would recommend instead is, so for your open house, if you send that link, so if you were to take this link and send it in an email to Scott Lorre Marketing and ask for a QR code to be created from this link, right? What agents typically will do then is, and I can help you guys with this when your open house comes, is Scott Lorre Marketing creates a QR code for you that when people scan it, it goes right to that landing page, right, for them to sign in. So what you would do is, okay, great. He sends you back a QR code, which is pretty much just a picture, right, a scannable picture for them. And most agents will put that just on a blank paper and print it out. If anything, it can say like, scan or welcome to the open house, and then just a big QR code. And they frame it and put it in their at their open house. So when people come in, they say, hey, the seller would like you to sign in for safety or whatever. They can scan it and do it right from their phone, or you could have your tablet open. If you would prefer that they sign in on your computer or on your iPad, you could simply have this page open on your computer and have them sign in right from there. Okay, so you can either have this open house landing page open at your open house on your tablet, on your iPad, whatever it is, to have them do that. Or Scott Lorre Marketing can create a QR code out of this. So if you were to put that QR code on a printed piece of paper, every time someone came in, you tell them, hey, just scan that QR code to sign in for security reasons. They would fill out that information, and it goes straight to command, and they get all the listing information, which is great. It's like giving them a listing flyer, right? Their information goes straight to KW command, where then you can set up an email that automatically responds to them, right? So that takes out a lot of your workflow. I know a lot of agents be like, oh, I usually, after the open house, I have it written out on a sheet, all their sign in. So I go back to my computer and I put them all in manually, and then I send them all an email manually, and that takes them hours, right? Versus if this automatically puts them in command and automatically sends them an email, right? You're cutting out a lot of your work by automating this. Yeah.
Landing page, some of the strategies is you're doing like a free home evaluation. Free home evaluation for social media. Use this landing page to create that, and do the whole QR thing and post it, or the link, and then they just come here and click on the link.
You're exactly right.
You get a
Yeah, you'll get a notification in the bell icon and on your app, but yes. Yeah, and so what she's saying too, for those of you online, right, strategy on social media, if you were to want to offer an ebook, or what did you say? What was your example? Oh, a CMA, right, was your home worth, right? So if you were to create a landing page, okay, so with the same idea in mind, instead of titling, this sign in for the open house, I could have written, drop your information and put your address in the notes for a free CMA, right? And then you're exactly right, where you would take that link and then post it to your social media, so it would capture it. The QR codes are great for print material. So if you ever do a flyer, anything printed, QR codes are the way to go for that. But if it's like you're sending it online, text and a link, yeah, Facebook. Yeah, exactly. Questions on that?
I do, Leah.
Yeah.
I wanted to, like, for the landing page, and you added your lead form. I wanted to add it like, do you have an agent? Can you add that to the?
Good question.
Okay.
So the answer is no on here, but I'm gonna give you a workaround. So no, you cannot edit any of these fields, unfortunately. If what you could do as the biggest workaround in the system is you could write like in this title where it says sign in for an open house, like drop if you have an agent in the notes, but obviously that's not ideal. So if you do want to create a form, like an open house feedback form, this is a request I get, where you're asking more of those real questions that aren't just those. Google Forms would be a good option. It's super easy to use. The only downfall is it just sends it to your email as opposed to sending it right to command. But honestly, like it's not that big of a downfall if you can get that much more rich information. It's worth it. And two, you can you can import it in bulk. So the answer is a Google form. So if you want, I have a video on how to create a Google form, or if you're versed on it, it's often a good way to go. But if you want a video on how to create that Google form, shoot me an email, contact@juleahdesigns.com. Or just book an appointment with us. And then, yeah, that would be your best bet to get more custom information. It's a Google form. Great question. Yeah. Yes. Great question. Okay, so how you would identify which people came to the open house and where your leads are. So, right, your leads will come in as we saw on the home page, right? So on the home page, you would see any leads coming in from right here, and you can see like their lead source as well. So for example, if that was the landing page, you'd be able to see it right here. But as far as in your contacts themselves, okay, there's just a couple icons that are good to note for how you know it's a lead. One sec. So when a lead comes in, just filter by all my leads. And just so you know, you can do this in general. When I'm in my contacts, I'm going to pull up all my leads. I want to see all leads, only leads, right? I'm in my contact section. I can click on filters at the top. So filters at the top. If I want my leads only, I click on leads only at the top and click on apply. Okay, so that'll show me any leads that came in. So any leads that come in, well, first of all, have an L next to it. Now, right from here, let me see if I can add the source, because from here, it doesn't show you the source that it came in, right? But it'll show you like their last recently active, like when they were active last. So you can see, okay, that was from today, you know, because the landing pages, it's a good question because like technically it doesn't differentiate between which landing page it came from. But as far as it does show you that it's a landing page. So if you did an open house today, you can see the date and you can see if you like click on it, that it shows you the lead source was that landing page. And this is where on the right-hand side too, you would be able, like this is a good example for you guys to see on the right-hand side, how that would generally look. So let's say I captured their information from the open house. It'll come in like this with a lead, marked as a lead. And on the right-hand side, it would show me that that smart plan email, if I had this set up, they automatically got that email, right? So this is where on the right-hand side, it shows more information about how they got captured as well. So to answer your question, it's really just going to your contact database and looking up your leads, and it'll be in order of the top ones at top. And then you could tag them further. So let's say, okay, but I really want to know that these came from 123 Main Street and not 204 whatever street open house. At that point, you know, as they come in, you can easily tag them. And I can like, so if that, you know, you want to go through that, book with us, we'll show you the how-tos. But essentially, then you can tag them from there once you capture them. Yeah. Yeah. So how you set up that lead follow-up. Okay. So that's all in your smart plans. Okay, I'm going to be showing you this in 7 minutes. I will let you go at 2:30. And if you need to leave in the meantime, I won't be sad or a little, but I'm just kidding. So smart plans on the left-hand side is what automates your lead follow-up. So that icon looks like a to-do list with a settings sphere. Okay. And that does things like send out automated emails, but it goes above and beyond where, okay, let's say we could set up this open house smart plan. There's actually one in here we're going to go get that it'll then notify you, hey, give them a call next, right? Send them a text next. So if you want to, you might already have the open house one in here. If you want to just in your smart plans, Scott Laurie Marketing, I think, adds all of them or all the default KW ones when he sets you up. So if you search open house, do you guys see an open house one in there? Here, I'm gonna look what it's called exactly. Yeah, it should show up for you automatically. I'll show you how to get it, right? But if it's in My Smart Plans, it's called My Open House Follow-Up. So you can search for open house under My Smart Plans. And it's, I know I have a few, but it's the very bottom one here, My Open House Follow-Up. That's the KW provided one, which we can edit. So if you see that, great. Click the pencil icon to the far right so we can start looking at what it sends and so we can edit it. If you're not seeing this, just how you get it, it's just from the library. So I'm just going to show you. Yeah, wait, so do you have it under My Smart Plans or are you in the library? Nice, way to go. Okay, yeah, so under library instead, you're right, add to Smart Plan or add Smart Plan. If you do not have that already in there, you can click on the library on the white toolbar. And you do need to scroll down slightly. Let's say your featured ones will be at the top. Scroll down slightly and you'll see the KW provided Smart Plans. And this is where if you click on the arrows on the right-hand side or see all, right, we're going to go on over to get that open house follow-up and just click on add Smart Plan. And it'll have you download it. If you already have it, it won't let you download it, and that's fine. All right, so now we can go in and customize it, okay? So now we can go back to My Smart Plan. So if you add it from the library, then we switch back over to My Smart Plans to actually do any editing. I'm going to search it so I can pull it up. So on the far right of the open house, the Smart Plans name under My Smart Plans, we click the pencil icon to edit that. And then this is where we can see what's being sent, and we can also add steps too. So like this one, now this is just the KW one. You can create one from scratch, but sometimes it's nice to just have a template in here. So for example, this one, it sends a text first, right? Now, if you don't have Twilio, so Twilio, just to give you a brief overview on that, Twilio will automatically text people. Or if you don't have Twilio, then it'll just remind you, like you can see you have the option to instead just have it remind you to text them. Now, if you want an email to be sent, let's see what they have in here. I'm going to scroll through and see what they have in here. Yeah, I think it's just reminding you to make an email though. Task, yeah. So that one just reminds you to make an email. Okay, so let me show you guys how we can add. It's actually very easy to add an email at the beginning. So see where it says send email on the right-hand side. So I do that, just add it to the bottom though, which is going to be annoying to move it up top. But right, you can order it. So if I click on add email, so we can add any of them, and I'll show you how you can create this from scratch too, if you want to. And I'll add that step. So we can go ahead and write in that email like, hey, thank you so much for coming to the open house. It's so great meeting you. Here's a link for a Google, for whoever that was that you just got online, for the Google form, right? For that feedback. So you could include that link here. So you can type a simple email. You can even send a design. So the email designs as well. So if you do have a certain design that you created that you want to send out, you can do that as well. But honestly, a simple email I think would be really effective, saying thank you for coming, and here's a link to my website if you want to search more, or my mobile app, or a feedback form, right? So what I would recommend as your homework, right, because this is kind of a whole nother world, a different topic, right, to fully implement. What I would recommend is create your template, okay? I want you to think, it doesn't, not in here, open a Word document. And I want you to think of, okay, what would your email say if they got an open house email? There are default templates in there that are just, they sound like it's a robot, okay? So like you can look up them, but I would like you to think of, okay, write it out on an email or on a Word document, all right? And then book with us or just let us know when you're ready and we'll help you just put it into a smart plan. If you can get the idea of what you want to send them, because to think about it, okay, I want them to get an email first, right when they leave the open house. Then maybe 4 days later, I want to be reminded to call them. And then maybe 2 days later after that, I want it to automatically send them my website and my mobile app, right? Thinking of that game plan, then we can easily put that in there for you. Okay. Questions on that? I know the lead follows kind of a whole different world, so just know that is something we will be getting to. Yes. Well, I mean, that's what Jules and I do. I mean, so if you need our help. So, I mean, our business model is you can book with us once a week. We'll help you for free. We will guide you. We'll do it with you too. Like we'll sit there and make that smart plan together, right? You don't have to do it. Let's make it together. I've been editing this, so I bet in a different class, I added a different step to play around. Yeah, okay, yes. Oh, great. Yeah, I was probably just playing around with it. Yeah, so I want you to really take that into mind that, okay, I want you to kind of think of the how that you know this now exists. What are your main lead sources, right? Oh, is that open houses, right? Or is that, you know, when you go and another lead source, let's say if you have a big soccer community, whatever it might be, every time you put them in your database, you want them to get a cool, cute little soccer and home email, right? Whatever you think your 3 main lead sources would be, I want you to try to think about that. And then like, where would you need an auto email? If a lead came in from a Facebook ad, you need an auto email. If a lead came in from an open house, you need an auto email, right? Identify your lead sources. Think about what that custom email would be. And let's meet and we'll make it with you. Okay. You do not have to do this alone, but you do have to do that side of it, right? All right. We'll create this. I don't want you to feel like that's a hurdle for you. That's no problem. Okay. We got you on there. And to make an appointment with us, last thing I'm going to tell you guys, which you guys probably all know, kwbresources.com. I need tech help on the top right. So it's our Calendly link. So you can book 30-minute appointments. And in the meantime, support at Scott Laurie Marketing responds typically within like 10 minutes. So if you have a quick tech question, need a video, aren't sure what to do, they'll answer you and help bridge that as well. Questions online or yes? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is there is it just a note we plan to use plan for?
Good question. Yeah, another great thing to do for the question for those of you online, they just can't hear you. What to prepare for like that meeting if we meet to help you with the smart plan. You know, tagging your contacts is a really big one for marketing. You know, and knowing and agents tend to get a little tag happy. So more even if you started with having like a VIP tag, being your top to 10 to 20% for things like quarterly calls. So, okay, if you have like 500 contacts, I don't want to call every one of them and maybe you don't need to. We need to be calling our top sphere. And if that's all your 200 contacts, that's great. We can set them up on a quarterly call plan so that you get notified of 3 people you need to call each day, whatever number you want that to be. So, but to really make these touches, these automated touches valuable, tagging your contacts, you know, to make it more specific to them. And maybe if that's where you get the leads, are you really involved with church or whatever that might be? That's where your sphere is, right? Is it your past job that you still have, you know, whatever that might be. Then so we can think of having 2 automated emails that would go out to anyone. Because what you can do is you can simply, anyone you add in your database moving forward, if let's say you just added church group, it would like to a tag, it would automatically start sending them the corresponding emails, and all you have to do is tag them with it. You know, so there's a lot of value in the automation there, but identifying, I would say top 3, either tags or lead sources will be really powerful before we meet, so that we can set it all up together. And though too, if that sounds overwhelming, tagging your contacts, obviously like we can meet to do that part first. And then the next part, you know, so a lot of people, right, book once a week with us. And so we can do, okay, let's do tagging this time. Next time, let's create that smart plan. Next time, let's create the open house landing page. We'll do it with you guys. So just know we're here. Good. Yeah, we're here for it. And then too, after we create some of them for you, then it's in there and you can just copy the open house sign-in sheet for the next open house. So like, you don't have to recreate it every time then, you know? Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Oh, are you? Okay, great. Yeah, let's go over all of it together. Awesome. Good. Oh, it's probably in there. What? Oh, 2019? Oh, I don't know. We'll find out. It usually stays within 30 to 60 days, but I don't know. She's probably not here anymore. Let me take a look at it. I mean, those of you that, yeah, if anyone has questions online, feel free to email those to contact@juleahdesigns.com. Or of course, you can ask me now. Thank you guys for coming. Yes. Thank you.